All right, today in lesson 4.3 is called Organizing and Displaying Data. We're going to answer what's the difference between a guess and an estimate, how do we create a tally chart, and how do we find the minimum, the maximum, the mode, and the range. So first, let's talk about guess and an estimate. So here we've got a couple of plastic teddy bears. And if I asked you how many were in it, you might say 2, you might say 100. Some people might say 1,000,000, 1,000, 10 million. Okay? Those are all guesses. But now, this is how we make an estimate. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 can fit on the top. So maybe underneath another 6 can fit right under them. So that'd be about 12. Maybe another 6 can fit underneath them. That'd be 18. Maybe another 6 can fit at the very bottom. That's 24. It does get smaller at the bottom. So maybe down here only a little bit less. So maybe not 24, maybe 23 or 22. So that's how you make an estimate. When you're guessing, you just shout out numbers without thinking. But when you make an estimate, you kind of slow down and you try to make a really come up with your very, very smart maybe answer. Okay, so you try. So I took out some teddy bears. And now, see, if I asked you how many were in here, some of you would guess 10 million. Some of you might guess 1,000. Some of you might guess 0. But if you made an estimate, you can see how many are on top. And you can think, well, if that many are on the top, how many are underneath it? And how many underneath it? So what's your estimate? And try to make a reasonable estimate. An estimate that could be almost correct. So on top there's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5. So maybe underneath them, how much more? How much do you estimate would be in all of this? I've got my estimate. Let's see if your estimate is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. So if you said 11, you made a reasonable estimate. If you said 13, you made a reasonable estimate. If you said 1 million, you made a very unreasonable estimate. Okay. Now, let's move on to how do we create a tally chart. So when we create a tally chart, it's a way of looking at all the data we have. So here we've got some data. We've got the pages that these children have read every day. So you can see this child read 16 pages, then she read 10, she read 18, 12. This child read 22, then 28, then 22, then 14, then 25. This child read 14, 5, 8, 4, 3, 7, and 10. So now let's organize this data and look at all of it. That's why I'm going to make a tally chart. Okay, so here I can call this side number of pages. And here I can see how many times people read that. So let's see, how many times have they read 4 pages? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So let's see, how many times have they read 4 pages? Right here, so I can put 1 tally mark there. How many times have they read 5 pages? 1 time, just 1 time. How many times have they read 6 pages? No one's ever read 6 pages. Someone's read 7 pages, so I can put a tally mark here. Someone's read 8 pages here. I can put another tally mark there. Someone's read 9, no one's read 9 pages. Someone's read 10 pages. And someone's read 10 pages over here. So 2 people have read 10 pages. How many people have read 11 pages? No one has read 11 pages. Has anyone read 12 pages? This child has read 12 pages, so I can put 1 more tally mark here next to 12. Has anyone read 13 pages? No one has read 13 pages. Someone has read 14 pages, so I'll put a tally mark there. Has anyone read 15 pages? No. This person has read 16, so I can put a tally mark next to 16. Okay, let's turn our camera around. Okay, has anyone read 17? No. Has anyone read 18? 1 person has. I'll put a tally mark there. Has anyone read 19 or 20 or 21, 22? Okay, let's see. No one has read 19. No one has read 20. No one has read 21. Someone has read 22 2 times. Let's just stop and look at this data. So here I have my tally chart, okay? So I can see someone's read 4 pages once, someone's read 5 pages once. No one's read 6 pages so far, only 6 pages. Someone's read 7, someone's read 8. No one has read only 9 pages. Twice people have read 10 pages. Never has someone read only 11. Once has one of these students read 12 pages. 0, ones, 0, ones, 0, ones, 0, 0, 0, and ones. Oh, sorry, another student's read 20. So 3 students have read 22 pages. So now what I can do is I can identify my minimum, my maximum, and my mode. So my minimum is the lowest value in all my data. So sometimes people think that's 0, but 0, it's not what I've found in my data, right? Someone's read 4 pages. So my minimum value is the smallest number in my data set. The smallest number in my data set. And here, the smallest number in my data set is 4. Okay? The maximum would be the largest number in my data set. And the largest number in my data set is down here, 22. So my minimum is 4. My maximum is 22. My range is the difference between my maximum and my minimum, or my maximum minus my minimum will give me my range. So what is my maximum? 22. What's my minimum? 4. So my range is 18. I have 18 different kinds of answers. Okay? I could have 4, I could have got a 5, I could have got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I could have 18 different kinds of answers. That's my range. And finally, my mode. So the mode, okay, is kind of what's popular, the most popular number, right? Because in fashion we say if it's, the mode is what's most popular. So if you look here, this data only came up once. This data only came up once. This data value came up twice. But if we look all the way down here, this data value came up 3 times. That's the most popular one. That's my mode. My mode is 22. Okay, so in this case, this time my maximum and my mode were the same, but sometimes they won't be. So again, the minimum is the data with the smallest value. The maximum is the data with the greatest value. The mode is the data, the most popular data, the data that we see most. Okay? So today's lesson is, what's the difference between a guess and an estimate? Well, a guess, you're not doing much thinking, and you're probably doing it really quickly. An estimate, you're moving slowly, and you're thinking really carefully and making a really smart answer. How do you create a tally chart? By putting all your value sets on one side, and then telling how many times you see that value. I saw the value 10 2 times. I saw the value 11 0 times. I saw the value 12 1 time. And once you have all your data, the minimum is the data with the lowest value. The maximum is the data with the greatest value. The mode is the most popular. And the range is the different kinds of answers you could get, or the maximum minus the minimum. Goodbye.